Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FML Live, Filmmakers League. Today, we're going to be talking to Alvin Wong. First, we have actually two guests today, two special guests. Today, we're going to first start with Alvin Wong, who's actually going to be speaking to us on how to connect with brands. Getting creators connected with brands is one of our dreams. One of the things that we've been working on, one of the things that FML is proud to actually do. So here we bring up a live session talking to people who work in brands. Alvin's worked with Zion. Alvin's is currently with Nanlite, and you'll be able to see his opinion in regards to how brands see filmmakers and how we can actually approach them. What are the proper ways of approaching them? How can he actually collaborate with them? How can he get sponsored? There's a lot to talk about. We have very little time. So without any further ado, let me invite Mr. Alvin Wong. Hello, hello. How's it been, Mr. Alvin
Hey,
Wong?
I'm good. I'm good. What about you?
I'm just in my party mode, over here, nice and beautiful, and everything's just perfect. And I was just waiting for you.
Nice lighting setups. Yeah, anyway,
Thanks, man.
thanks. Yeah, thanks
So
for having me here.
before we start, I got a very important question to you. What do you like the most, Pepsi or Coca-Cola? I mean, for me, I go zero sugar. It's just something happened. What do you prefer both? I mean, I think I like Pepsi better.
I I personally prefer Coca-Cola. Yeah, I
Coca-Cola.
find Pepsi a little bit too sweet. Like it's more sweet than it's sweeter than Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and yet when we were traveling to more than 10 different countries around the globe, me and you together, you never actually opened a bottle of Coca-Cola. You always been on da 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 da. You know what that means? I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
that's my
So, Alvin,
motivational drink.
we have a very important topic today. It's all about how people like us, filmmakers, independent filmmakers, cinematographers, DPs, producers, directors, how can they approach brands? I mean, let's rewind everything back and figure
Mhm.
out how you communicated with me. Why did you actually go through me? And why did you actually accept working with me? What was those things that actually brands are looking into creatives? How should they approach? So, let's start off first with people who don't know you, Mr. Alvin Wong. Give me a nice 60-second intro.
All right. Hi, everyone. Basically, as what Ra has introduced, I used to work with Zion as a overseas marketing manager, and I'm currently with Nanlite. Actually, not just Nanlite, but Nanlux, where we have two brands under our company, Nanlite and Nanlux. So, yeah, I'm basically doing marketing all my life. So I think in regards to like Ra mentioning like how we actually started, I first met Ra. I think it was many years ago. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago when we met
Wow.
actually on the one Photokina, in Cologne in Germany. I think that was like 4 years ago or five. I can't remember. But yeah, anyways, at that time I was actually with Zion, and that was when we had our exhibition at Fortukina, and that's where I met Ra. And Ra was actually one of our invited sort of like a partner to share at our exhibition, as a workshop. So I saw at that point of time, I saw the passion in Ra in terms of what he's doing, and he is like really all out to share in terms of his perspective as a filmmaker, what he can do with the Zhiyun gimbal. And he has a lot of really cool ideas and stuff. And I think what attracted me was pretty much your passion, that in terms of creating contents, and not only just creating contents but also sharing and educating the other content creators out there, which I thought this is something really really good. Yeah.
Nice. So, meaning the first thing you're looking from creatives, any brands, are, I suppose, commitment and their passion, right? Um, So let's just say if I'm a filmmaker and I have worked with different kind of cameras, there's many cameras out in the market nowadays, and every manufacturer is good at doing something that they do. And there's no such thing as good or bad gear. There's different gear used for different scenarios. So let's just say I'm a DSLR filmmaker or a mirrorless filmmaker, or let's just say I'm a DP on a home and away set. I'm actually filming with Zcam, Red, Blackmagic, or whatever it may be. How can I approach you guys? How can brands actually come in? How can creatives come and talk to brands and be able to collaborate? What is the proper way of doing this? I mean, there's a lot of times creative actually DM, brands, send them emails, but nothing gets responded back. And this is something that we hear in our industry a lot. So what is the proper method
Mhm.
of doing it? How should they take this approach?
Okay. First of all, like I think what I mentioned earlier on, I think one of the key points that we are looking at is definitely passion. And I mean, I'm not trying to speak on behalf of every brand, but I'm just trying to share, at least from my own personal perspective. When I collaborate with content creators out there, like around the world, I think as a marketing person, I think first of all, most important is you need to know not only how to market your products or your videos, but
Mm,
you need to also know how to market yourself. I think that is very important because if you do not know how to like market yourself or show what you can do or the passion that you can do, and you need to give confidence to this all the brands or all the manufacturers, to
yeah,
let them know that you are here to help them to create contents to share. Because as a manufacturer, as a brand, we are always looking for creative contents around the world, and we work with a lot of content creators. I mean, personally, I have many experience working with good content creators and I wouldn't say bad, but not so good content creators. But I always tell all my friends around that I believe that there is no good or bad content, because this sort of like videos contents is sort of like a form of art, where it really depends on how you represent or how you present your idea, your thoughts, you
mm,
know but
mm,
I think more importantly is the commitment and the passion, because these days I mean, I just want to be open with everyone. We do
yeah,
get a lot of people writing into us and telling us, hey, I am a filmmaker, I'm a content creator, give me some of your products and I'll do a review for you, I'll do a content for you, things like that. And very often we get a lot of sort of like a one time off kind of collaboration where
yeah,
we give a product, and this person, they say, okay, I'm going to do a review video, and once the review video is done, I never hear from this person ever again.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think what ultimately what we're looking for is, when we sponsor products to any of this or any of you guys, we don't want to just see like you doing like one review or two reviews or things like that. We are looking forward to having a long-term collaboration, because
mm,
end of the day, we need you to have the passion and have the confidence to share our products. Because if you just want to share our product in just one or two reviews just for the sake of getting free stuff, I think
yeah,
this is something that we are not looking for. And if we find that you are this kind of person, definitely is definitely it's going to be the first and last time you will hear from us, because we will definitely not want to collaborate with you anymore, because you just want to
mm,
get free stuff. And upon saying that, I feel that this is not only just like for Nan Light or for myself, but definitely it applies to every other brands as well, because we have all the same objective, and we need to you know have more of you guys to help us to create content to share. And you need to have the confidence in the product as well. If not, there's no point doing it just to get free stuff. So yeah, I think this is one of a few of the main things that in terms of what personally I feel. And
yeah,
you need to have the passion, you need to have the commitment, and you also need to market yourself, because I see a lot of very potential content creators out there. But the problem is they do not really know how to market themselves. Like, um, they a lot of them. Okay, this is probably the next topic, but I would just want to take this opportunity to share as well. Like when manufacturers actually look for, or brands when they look for like content creators, the first thing that they look for is how big your community is, like how many followers you have on your Facebook, your Instagram,
Mm.
how many subscribers you have on your YouTube channel. The only reason why we are looking for that is because we need to get more exposure from your community. And if you don't have a big enough community,
Hmm.
it's you don't give us that kind of confidence as well. So you need to know how to market yourself. So um, learn from some of the the more influential content creators around, those with like higher influences, higher number of followers. See what they do, see how they market their videos, how they share their contents. And you could start off from there first, and then subsequently when you reach to a certain level, you'll start to see more, instead of you approaching to brands. You'll start to see brands approaching you because you have a certain level of influence. So, uh, in order to get to that level, you need to show the passion first. That's, I think, one of the ways to. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a content creator. Or I'm not an influencer or a KOL, but
But you're coming
when
through
I
a brand's perspective, right? You're coming through a brand's perspective
yes,
because you have more experience working with brands and we have more experience creating the content. So you are giving
mhm,
your feedback based on what brands want to see.
exactly.
Correct. That's actually quite interesting that you say that. And Gary also says it over here, saying that yes, that's a very common thing now. Content creators reaching out to brands for free stuff, one and doing a review as a promotion. So let me put it this way. Let's say if I'm a filmmaker and I don't have YouTube presence, I don't have Instagram presence, yet I work with XYZ, A grade actors and B grade actors. I've done stuff for Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, whichever wood you want to be in. You worked with high end projects and you worked on things that you're worthwhile for this collaboration deal. So how would people like this approach you? How do director of photographies, producers, people who are actually making a feature film which is about to get to Amazon or Netflix, how do they approach you guys? I mean, of course, a lot of times when
Mm,
people are actually getting on Amazon and Netflix as well, sometimes it happens with their great luck because of distribution and the aggregation deals we have. But at the same time, they might not have the enough confidence or the way of thinking on how to approach the brand. So if I don't have a YouTube presence, how do I approach you guys?
mhm. I think most importantly, you need to have all this like well planned, like in terms of what you plan to do in the near future. Like if you have any ideas that you want to create like a certain videos or a certain contents, you can always share these contents with us. And end of the day, you need to have a plan on what you decide. And
Hmm.
my suggestion is, have it well planned first, and make your plan convincing. In terms of showing your passion and commitment in what you're doing. Because if you're just like writing in to us and saying that, okay, I'm gonna do like one review for you, I'm gonna do a B-roll video for you, and then give me so and X amount of products, and I'll do this for you. I think this is like a very, how should I say, a very cheesy way, of like getting free stuff, and we get that a lot. We get that a lot. So that's one of the reason why, when you send us like a request like this, I will put it in like the last in the list to have a look at, whatever your plans are. So, when you plan to approach us, or when you plan to approach like any brands, have your plan, have it well planned. Share with us, what you plan to do. Not only just like review videos or B-rolls, because this is one more advice to those of you who wants to collaborate with brands. Is nowadays, like B-rolls, review videos, these are like passe. It's like very,
Hmm.
outdated. And who really watches review videos anymore? Where I know I can get like information easily anywhere about the product. So I don't really need to know how about the feature of the products, but more of how, in terms of the application of the products. Like,
Mm.
if you were to get a tube light, a power tube, or a Forza light, what do you plan to do with it? More in terms of the application, how you plan to do it. Does it, help you to do a better, more creative work, in your production? Does it solve any of your lighting problems? More of this sort of application. So add that in your plan, and you share with us, and definitely, if it helps you to do a better production, a better content, we will be more interested, to
Definitely,
hear more of your plan and to work
definitely.
with you. Yeah.
So I suppose your main comment from what I got out of that is, regardless if you have a online channel and presence or not, or if you're in a professional market where you're not focusing on social media and online platform, you're focusing on getting the job done, you can still contact brands, but have a proposal in regards to what you're going to do with that. You can't just contact them and say, hey guys, I'm doing a movie. You want to collaborate with me? That's not good enough. That's probably what
Hmm.
brands are getting all the time. You need to create a
Hmm.
proposal, just like how you're approaching clients to get your job. This is the project we're working on. Here's some screenshots of the mood we're going for. This is a light that's going to be really, really workful if you're trying to contact with a lighting brand, or if it's a transmission brand or a gimbal brand. Pick up the product that you want and talk about the features and how it's going to benefit you, what content you can give back to the community as well, back to the company as well. So there is some sort of give and take. Because at the end of the day, the both parties need to be able to have some benefit. You having the access to the gear, and the party
Hmm.
who's actually providing you that to be able to have access to the content, so they can utilize it to promote not just you to grow your undiscovered channel yet, but also to be able to utilize the content that you've done and publish it online for a reason of giving you a product. So does that kind of make it a little bit easier, from what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, you need to share in terms of how you create, this sort of thing. So, in a nutshell, it's actually more of like, sharing an educational kind of content where, you create something really nice, a very nice, like, for example, lighting scene, in your scene. People would like to know how you actually, light up the scene. Like, for example, Ra, you are in a very nice, cozy lighting environment right now. So when people see it, they may like, that the feel that you're in right now. So people will start to ask, hey Ra, so how do you light yourself up like that? Do you place a light in front or behind? How do you get, you know see things like that? So how do you
Like
derive, how do
this.
you get this effect?
Yeah.
So it's always nice to share, in terms of how to create. And in terms of content creation these days, it's we are looking for more contents, educational contents to share, so that people learn from each one another, and hopefully they improvise and do something even more creative out of it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, while you're actually doing that, I'm trying to find a better theme in regards to what's going to work for my background. So I think I need to go blue here and red in the back. So if I do that and change the setting, yeah, there you go. So what I'm doing is I'm literally controlling my entire light from my phone, and I just switch off and switch on. And that light that you see that's on my face, that's just directly through the laptop, whatever's coming on. So maybe one day I'll show you
Mhm.
how I've set up my studio as well over here. That's actually really good, Alvin. So we have two questions over here, very important questions. Oh my God. Let's go with Dante's first, and then we'll go for Gary's. Dante says for Alvin, what will be an ideal long-term collaboration look like? What's the specific time of content would you like to see? So I suppose he's a person who actually wants to approach brands, but wants to know what sort of commitment that they should expect from a brand. What is minimum requirement? So they can understand that they can also support the brand to be able to deliver.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's going to be over promise and under deliver, and then it's not going to happen.
Mhm. Mhm. We don't. Okay. I mean, for Dante, we don't have like a specific time, or sort of like a specific requirement, because we're talking about commitment and passion, and we don't want to make it look like a contract where I have to tell you, okay, within every month you need to do X amount of videos, you need to take X amount of photos, you need to submit by this date, this time, things like that. This is very contract kind of based. But I mean, it will be good if you can share, like, in terms of your daily work when you use it. It doesn't, sometimes certain things don't really have to be, in the contract. And you can always share, like, if you have certain production that you use our products, it would be nice, if you could, like, share how you set up this production, with us. And like for Nanlight, we actually have our community. We have a very, very strong and very fun community on our Facebook. Um, if you could
Mm.
share some of these contents in our community, I think that would be, very, very nice as well. So I think, to Dante's question, I think, it's more of your passion, how you want to share our products. We don't have a specific time or specific number of contents that we need to really to do, but for long-term collaboration, if you could share something like out of the box, that would be appreciated. Like I work with a lot of some of the good, like, content creators around. I think, yes, they were contracted to do, like, maybe one or two videos, but after that they still continue to use our lights, and they continue to share our lights, and not just, like, dump it one side. Where we do have some content creators, do have some uh KOLs that we work with, where after reviewing or creating contents for our lights, they just dump it one side, and the next moment you see them using
Another
our
brand.
competitors lights. So this is,
Yes, yes.
something like this is, like, really not ethical, I would say.
Yeah.
So in terms of long-term collaboration, it's not just about sponsoring products to you and creating X amount of contents for us, but we hope that you will continue to use our
Mm.
products and share not only your contents, but you can also share your feedbacks. Like, what do you think about these slides? If you have certain needs, or if you have certain requirements, maybe for some accessories, like mounting accessories, you can always, share with us, and we are more than happy to listen. And we have been doing that all the time, and we have been also, coming up with new accessories, new products, in accordance to what some of our past content creators have shared with us. So I think, this is something that we are looking for in terms of long-term collaboration. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. So, I mean, I've got one more question after this, but let me just tell a story, right? And my story taking is quite long for explanation, so I'll try to cut it down. So, my first collaboration in my life was with Zhiyun. I actually was looking at Zhiyun gimbals, and I had a list of companies that I want to work with. And at that time, I was trying to grow on Instagram and figure out how to do it. And I found out that on Instagram that if you have like-minded pages in the similar community, they publish your content and they have bigger reputation and more followers, it will help you get a boost as well. So I actually went to an online site and submitted to a few different places. Someone charged me $45 to post the content on their profile, which was a BTS company, on Instagram. Then someone charged me $25. There was this dude who actually messaged me and said, "Hey, Ra, I can charge you $50 to do this content, or you pay me $250 and I will teach you how to do it yourself." And at that time, I think I had about 500 followers on Instagram, and it was quite depressing. Um, because what happens is when you start this social media game, this like follows and your content becomes a little bit of cat and fish, cat and dog over here. It's like you start fighting on what is the highest importance. So I started playing a game where I keep my content as the importance, and I keep on doing what I'm good at and keep on creating content. Then what happened is I'm like, okay, I talked to my social media guy. At the time, I was quite a noob and I didn't know anything on how this market works or what to do. He said, "Ra, you're trying to approach a brand. You can't just approach them and say, 'Hey guys, I need a gimbal. Can you give me a gimbal? I'll make a video for you.'" It wasn't good enough. So what I done is I thought of an idea and I went to my local rental store and I said, "Hey guys, can I borrow a Crane 2?" At that time, Crane 2 was around and it was quite famous with the Xeon market, right? So I went and hired the gimbal. A model actually came from Canberra, drove 3.5 hours just to come and shoot over here. So they might have actually put some confidence in me that, okay, this will be quite good. And we went to a location and we filmed it. We filmed it with the BTS, and at that time I was using a GH4. It was quite good. Everything worked out well. And I done the content and I sent it to my social media guy, and I said, "This is perfect." And he said, "Wait, let me send it instead of you sending it." So he sent it because there was not a cold calling. There was a warm lead for him. He already knew a person in Zune. So he sent my content, and then Zune contacted me directly and said, "Hey, Ra, this is amazing. Would you like to collaborate?" So first I collaborated with them with the product. After the collaboration happened, I nailed it again. They liked the content again. Then after that, I went to another collaboration and then another. And slowly, as you're climbing the ladder, you start getting better collaborations. And then you start traveling or you're doing workshops, depending on what your skill sets are. You might be really good at making commercials. Maybe you'll be making commercials for these guys one day. But the point is, you got to start off and pitch it yourself. Just like you pitch to any projects, you got to go make an effort, do something about it. If you like Nanlights, go get a tube, rent it out, borrow it from your friend, create a video, show to Nanlight on what you can do. And they will love your content, regardless if you have followers or not. Maybe the content can be used for marketing and they might like your style or the way you're doing things. What's your opinion on that,
Mhm.
Alvin?
Yeah, exactly. I think that is what I meant by passion, like, before, when you have like zero, you have nothing. I think it's really nice if you have the passion to do things on yourself. I mean, I mean, for Landlife, we our products are not really expensive, so I mean, if you can't afford to buy it, like like what Ra said, he can, you can go and hire it from some rental company, try it out, create some contents, and
Yeah.
share it with us, saying that, okay, look, I don't own any Nanlite products, but I actually rented it, or I borrowed, I mean, I loaned it from a friend, things like that, and I created something like this, using Nanlite. So I mean, something like this is very appreciative, because it
Mm.
just shows that you are actually very passionate about not only just our products, but also like lightings. And I think that will probably give yourself, like more opportunity, or more higher chance for brands to actually spend a little bit more time to hear what you have in mind, or what plans you have. So I think that also helps you to get a higher chance to start off with this collaboration.
Very nice. So we have one more special guest to invite next. This is Martin from Queensland. Before I do that, Gary's got a lengthy question here, so I'm going to bring that up and let's see if we can answer this very quickly, and then we'll move on to the next. Here we go. Passion and
Wow,
commitment
that's a very
to
long
the craft,
question.
as Alvin said, is one. Content creator must, yep, brand collaboration.
That's nice.
So what's your say on this, Alvin?
Yeah, I think Gary, that's pretty much right. I think you're right about one has to assess himself, and
Yeah.
to ask if you're ready for this collaboration. And then once you're ready, you need to have, like, good plans to propose to the brand, and to share, in terms of the collaboration, what you can do. So I think, yeah, pretty much, Gary, you have actually gotten it right. So passion, commitment. I think if you are able to do this with a good, solid plan, I think that would definitely bring up your chances a lot.
Okay, it's good to see Nanlight Global also tune in. Hello, Nanlight. We have your Alvin here. I'm sorry I'm taking away from the working hours, but he's quite valuable, and I definitely needed him for this for FML and for our members and everyone watching out there on how to approach brands. So here you go. Someone's a happy user of the Power Tubes.
Magic.
Yep, Power Tube definitely changed my life. And it actually did change my life as well, because I'm hooking tubes everywhere nowadays. And you won't believe it, I've got DPs also talking to me and they said, guys, this tubes thing is amazing. It's like you can just use tubes now and continue a lot of shooting, and it makes it quite approachable as well. So we also have Mark Williams here from South Africa. I remember we met Mark in either Johannesburg or Cape Town. And he's a
I
long
think
time
we met
follower
Mark
here as
in
well. So it's
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg. Yes, yes. So
Yeah, correct me
as
if I'm
to
wrong, Mark.
Yep. So here we go. As a content creator to get support from you guys, I'm more a Africans writer in short films, etc. one of our home languages in South Africa, which is Union Comedy, but at times I do write content serverless in English as well. So how can you get support from people who are doing multilingual, people who are not shooting in English? Can they also get support with brands? I suppose that's the translator question.
Yeah, I think in general, definitely English is more sought after because if you can create content in English, it will be international where we can actually share it on our global platforms, and we can share not only to people in your country but also people around the world. And I think this is a very very good opportunity for you as well, to create an awareness for yourself, because most of the time, for like new content creators who just started creating contents and sharing, especially on their social media platforms, they usually get like people to like in their own on your own community, especially in the local. But one way to create a global awareness is definitely the content has to be in English. That's one way. But for those of you who can't like create contents in English, it doesn't mean that you can't create contents or you can't collaborate with brands anymore. We still need to have, like in certain countries, we still need to have contents in the local language because of um, the audience that are looking at the contents. Like for example, in certain countries where you speak, maybe the locals do not, they're not really well versed in English, and they would be more connected to the local language. Then that is where your content will be good at. Yeah.
Very nice. I've got an idea, right? Whatever you said is 100% right, yet there's a loophole to it. And I'm sorry for bringing this up live. Yes, Mark isn't based in South Africa, and he's making content for his local community, which is the local language spoken there. Even though a global brand might not be interested, but the local distributor would be interested because that is the local content they sell. So let's just say I'm in Australia and I want to use Nanlights, right? And I don't want to shoot in English. Let's say I want to shoot in Aboriginal language and I'm creating an Aboriginal content. And even though a global brand might not be interested, but I can go approach a local distributor who's selling those products, and they might be interested in collaborating with you because they're selling to the market you're creating the content for, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right.
Okay. So, well, there you go. There's a lot shared today, and I hope people actually get some information out of this, and they can
I
actually
think
be able to contact brands, and be able to collaborate. What's your final say, Alvin?
we met Mark in Cape Town. He just replied. I'm sorry,
Yes,
Mark.
we made it.
Yeah, we met too many people in
That
South
got kicked
Africa,
out.
so yeah, but Cape Town is a
Okay,
beautiful, beautiful place.
beautiful place.
Nice.
And I remember going to the top balcony somewhere with you guys, and we saw the entire
Hmm.
360 of Cape Town. So beautiful. When these borders
Yeah.
open, we'll definitely come up with a kick-ass, awesome workshop in regards to what we can do more. So now, without having our second guest, special guest, waiting for too long, let's introduce Martin. Martin is in Queensland, and it's a safe state. He's not from Melbourne, where I just came from, where I'm just in a lockdown for next 7 days, and we're very lucky. So let's talk to Martin, as a producer, as also a founder for a production company, in regards to what he does, how he does, and this time, Alvin, we're both going to talk to him together because we're both in a different line of work where he is, and it will be nice to understand what producers do as well in regards to the company and stuff. So,
Definitely.
Martin, how's it going?
Very good. Yourself?
Hi, Martin.
Very good.
Hello.
So,
Hi,
Martin,
Ra. Hi, Alvin.
freedom potential.
Yeah, Freedom Potential. We are a video production company in Queensland, but we service all of Australia, and we specialize in live events. So filming live events. Our innovation is that we do like a one-man operation, 3-camera switch with graphics and overlays, and we make it affordable for events up to 150 people. So the smaller events. And so we're specialized in everything like live streaming, virtual events, hybrid events, and whatnot. So our studio here in Varsity Lakes on the Gold Coast fits 30 people, and typically we can get also like over 4 screens, 200 people on the Zoom at the same time.
wow.
And this is really
Wow,
dedicated
awesome.
for speakers. Yeah, that's what we do.
Very nice, very nice. What sort of cameras and systems are you using right now? Maybe we might know a few of those brands.
Well, this is a very good question. By the way, Ra, congratulations for getting the distribution license, for Z cameras in Australia. Do you call them Z cameras? Z cameras, we call them Z cameras. Z cams.
Z cams, same thing,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, this kit is Canon, but we're gonna move on from that. I use the Z cams mainly in studio design and the studio that we build for small businesses or for individuals, podcasters, YouTubers, and speakers, coaches that have like a spare room in their house and they have their own private studios. So we found that the Z cam is excellent for this type of work. So yeah, let's take it away.
Very nice, very nice. So Martin, can you advise me and our viewers, how did you enter this market and having your own production company? Like, this is a dream goal for a lot of filmmakers. How can we go ahead there? I mean, of course, I know you got limited time today, and so all do of us, and I'm gonna try to see how short you can keep your answers. But I know it was a journey, but in short form, how did you get into this? Can you inspire some of our viewers here?
Sure. I mean, look, this is a great question. Look, I've been in the industry for 15 years, and most of my career I've been actually supporting independent and emerging filmmakers and screen practitioners. I'm from Canada. I'm from Montreal in Canada, so I started my career there. And then I was the executive director of Open Channel in Melbourne, and then I moved to Metro Screen in Sydney before starting my own company. So before doing all the production work, all the the RTO, which is the basically developing courses, supporting productions, and some of them went to win Oscars and other film festivals. I then decided that, hey, it's my turn. I'm gonna buy a little kit. At the time, it was a Canon 5D Mark II, and then I just started from scratch, started from the one camera, and then build up a kit and a workflow in a niche in the market. And that's really what's important, I think, for people that listen to us and they want to have their own production company. So think of a niche, think of a particular thing that you can do that not many other people do, or not many people do it in that particular market. For us, it was the small events, the small events, multicam, live streaming and recording with really speedy delivery. So think about that. Think about what's the thing that you can offer that other people don't.
I have a quick question, Martin. What are the lighting equipments that you use usually for your live streams?
Lighting equipment, right? So right now, these are just simple Godux, 60 watts and 300 watts. And then I also use RGB par cans. So I have a set of them. And in the studio here, they're all rigged on a DMX board. So I can basically play around and create some highlights and whatnot. It's a little bit straight right now because I didn't have much time to set up. So I just went for the clean and easy.
Okay, so I suppose it's more control environment. It's a studio setup, so it's more DMX control, which you can actually have more versatile control with it. Okay, sounds good, man.
Yeah. However, it's super cheap. Because you can get those RGB or RGBW par cans for $50, $60 each, and then a controller for $100, and suddenly you have here there's 6 of those, and they all work together. You can also rig up those LED ribbons, like those LED lights. So you can rig them up for DMX control, And then like you don't see it, but here there's a big display on screen on stage here. And then there's other features, you know, on the other side of the studio, and they have
Nice.
LED lighting behind it that I control with the DMX panel.
Very nice. So are you
Nice.
using like a switcher? Is it a Blackmagic 8M Mini? But I mean, that's what I'm using right now, and that's what I'm known for. It's
Yeah.
very simple for me. What do you use for the system?
Yeah. So I stick with Roland at the time. I've used just about all of them in my career in different setup, larger kits and smaller kits. But right now, my go-to is Roland. So I have like the V1 HD Plus, which is an incredible, beautiful switcher that has also like some XLR input and that does keying and it's just a great piece of hardware. And also I use the V2 HD. I think that's a two IOs, two inputs. However, it can be triggered by a pedal. So if I had the time, like you can basically present like this, and with a pedal, switch to your wide angle and then to your close up, and back and forth. So that's really interesting, like a guitar pedal, you know, like a simple like
100%.
expression pedal like that. Yeah, but
You know,
honestly, I
actually,
steer away from the Blackmagic systems.
how come?
Look, I really want to love Blackmagic, and from the very beginning of them building cameras, I've really like trying to encourage the system and use, you know, like the first Blackmagic cinema cameras, and like all along the road I get to experiment with some of those, but I just feel like there's always something that's not quite right, and it feels to me that it's in regards to format and codecs, it's always like, you know, there's just something missing. Like for example, the 8M Mini, what I don't like is that I don't get the same kind of preview panels that I get from a Roland preview program out, you know, like this is what I need. And from the 8M Mini, it's like, it's just, or even the Pro is like, it's just a little too complicated to get what I need, you know. And just these little buttons, you know.
Well,
the interface
look, at the
is
end
not
of the
quite
day,
right, you know.
100%. Like at the end of the day, I was saying before, I've used many systems as well, and I stick to the systems that work for me as well. And I'm very glad that you found a system that works for you, and that's awesome. I mean, for me, I only use 3-4 camera minimum. You know, I normally switch live between multiple cameras, and I just have a switcher. And the 8M Mini Pro actually allows me to do it really, really well. The Mini is good. The Pro is even better, so it works for me really, really good. And I suppose different environments will have different solutions for different things. But one thing that I did end up changing in my studio is I took out all of those redheads and I started putting all the 60Bs in. They're so small. They go on battery pack when I need to move it. And I'm just creating fake blinds in the background. I'm creating colors with the power tube. Everything's just coming up to life. I mean, not just that. Let me tell you something, right? What I like is we have another business called Smart Life Hub, right? Where we do downlights and LED strips and stuff like that. So this is my studio. If I turn the light off, entire mood is gone. And with my phone, I have everything back up and running. So this is the major importance for me in my setups. I like to have control over lighting. I like to have control over where it's coming from, the sharpness of it, the lenses on it, what attachments are available. Can I do unreal stuff like creating blinds at the back or shapes and patterns? So lighting is key for me. I mean, being in a DP background in filmmaking, so that was what my major thing. So that's why I started changing my lights first. And right over here, I have a Nikon Z6, and it's got a 35mm lens on. It's on f1.8, so it's actually focusing pretty decently on a 1.8, knowing that there's very low light and I'm on ISO 800. So it's not bad. It's pretty good. So Martin, I know you've got a little time
I love
as well
it.
today.
Look, it's very creative, very creative. I love it. You're doing a really great job with your backlighting there. It's very entertaining. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much, mate. So without any further delays, I know you've got limited time today as well, and it was really hard to catch up with you, and running a business isn't easy. So just tell me one simple thing. With 3 simple answers to our audience over here, if someone wants to start their production company, and they're already doing filmmaking. They're already filming, they're doing freelancing for other people. What is a step? I know your number one point today was finding a niche, because if you can find a niche, you can focus on it, you can be a master in it, and then you start getting jobs with it. So can you give two other points in regards to how people can go set up their own production companies?
Okay, well, which areas you mean? Of course, you need to set up your business structure. Of course, you need to go and network. And
networking.
Networking is a great way to get business, right? You got to get yourself known somehow. One of the main thing actually is it's all about making yourself the expert, So like you're expert in lighting, in lighting right there, Of course you're DP, but like people know you for that. So you have that X factor, and you create that X factor. And this is
nice.
This is how you create your business, and you put yourself into you make yourself a specialist, and that's some others says rock stars. The industry rock stars. This is advice that I get from a lot of my clients, because most of my clients in my niche is coaches, business coaches, public speakers, trainers. So I get to learn a lot of those, behind the scenes marketing tricks and sales and social media and property development and investments and crypto and it's just so much of knowledge. So applying applying what you see in your business, that's also really important. What you consume and what you see, being in tune with your clients in your business. So if you do music clips and you're hip hop music clips, for example, there's so many out there. So what's incorporate this aesthetic in your personal brand, and then that's represents what you do, and ultimately what you are, and represents your values, put your values forward in that way.
100%, Martin. That's actually a really good answer, and I'm really glad I got you on board to be able to explain your situation as well. So Dante's got a question for you over here. What is a good resource for people getting to film to better understand the business side of the industry?
Okay, like an educational resource.
Yes.
Where are you based, Dante?
Dante's based in Sydney, from my understanding.
Okay. Well, there's a
it's a tough one. There's a company called, because a lot of people don't share.
Yeah, no, but I mean, just different resources, right? And it's not necessarily just for film, but just to be in business and to put your processes and your procedures together, because that's a key. We all know workflow is key, but it's not just the workflow for your production or your post-production, but it's also your business workflow. So you really got to be investing into your business workflows. And there are a few companies, especially in Australia, that are, and some of them are my clients, that actually are really good at helping businesses to develop those workflows, those procedures, and basically from onboarding your clients and then actually taking them to their satisfaction, and then a survey to understand their experience with you, so the whole process. And so there's a business blueprint in Sydney.
Yes, I heard about
that are really, really good and really strong. Here, well, they're also Australian Abundance Global, David Dugan, very slick, and his productions actually is productions are very slick as well. So it's very interesting. I have an opportunity to possibly consult on his brand new studio that he's building for hybrid events. Then, there are two go-tos. There's also a program in a global program that's called DENT KPI, Key Person of Influence, and that is basically like a year-long program where you build your own your personal brand assets, like for a whole year.
Nice. Okay.
So you basically support yourself and put yourself out there as a specialist and as the go-to person. And that, what happens when you do this is that you can like charge, through the roof. Like your pricing, your fees, like you can build your fees much higher when you are in demand.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's how to put yourself in demand. So
You have to be a
I really
master at
recommend
something.
those type of programs. What was that?
Correct. Elvin, what's your thoughts on? I mean, as he was saying, being a master at something, when you're a master at it, then you can go ahead and charge something, right? It's like saying if you have something which no one has in the world, you can charge any dollar for it. But you have to create the style, create the pattern, create the look, something that no one else has, a niche market, right? So what's your opinion on this, Alvin, in regards to what Dante is saying? The business side of the filmmaking, do you have any advice on how people can get into it or where they can get the resources?
Yeah, I think personally, Dante, I feel that definitely it has to be something very niche, something that is also creative, but on another hand, you need to do some form of like market research to understand the demand in the market, like there are certain times that certain style of contents it's very popular. There are certain times other styles will be very popular. So I think to start off, I think what is a good resource is to understand the market better, learn from it, improvise, and then create something of your own to suit, to fulfill, I would say, the demand in the market.
Very nice, very nice. Sounds good. I mean, Dante, my feedback in regards to this on how to understand the business side of it is find someone who's already made it and work with them and see and learn, because us humans, we can see things and we can mimic it, right? So once you can mimic it until you get your own style, you'll eventually get there. That's for creative part of it. But for business as well, when you're working for someone or working with someone, have a look at how they do things. If they've already made it in regards to what you're trying to do, see the patterns they're following. I agree to what Martin said over here as well. The processes are very important. Just remember this: the process is important, regardless you do it or someone else does it for you. Right. But at the end of the day, the processes needs to be done. Otherwise, you can't get to the end objective. Just like climbing a ladder. You can't jump from here to there. Right. You need to keep on going until you reach the top. So that either you do it or you hire someone else to do it for you. But regardless, it needs to be done. So there you go, Dante. That's our feedback in regards to this. Martin, any final words that you like to say to the audience before you get going as well and we get back into filmmaking and start creating some epic content?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks, Rod. Thanks, Alvin. Much appreciated. It's really, really nice to see how you guys are, being dynamiting the industry. And thank you very much. Whoever's watching, keep at it. Keep working towards your dream, and dream bigger. Like soon enough, you will see that your one camera kit becomes a 2-camera kit, becomes a crane and a drone and a this and a that, and you will have some a lot more capacity, and bring your team around you and build your team the way that you build your equipment, your gear, your equipment basically. So thanks so much, appreciate it. I need to leave, so looking forward to chatting further another time.
Definitely.
Yes,
And
definitely,
I'm really,
definitely.
really interested to see your content out of Zcam as well, Martin. So if you do anything on Zcam, please do share it with us. We would love to share on Zcam Australia.
Of course. Well,
anyone
basically,
out there?
I'll share some of my clients' content, because, as I said, I use Zcam mainly through setting up client studios, because it's a really nifty system that can allow to create really good, really impeccable imaging in a small package and at a low price point that I find much more malleable than other brands like the Australian one that we talked about earlier, and also of course, and it looks professional, it feels professional, and people feel good, like with this equipment in their own studio at home, or in their small business. So yeah, I think it's a great piece of kit, really great piece of kit.
Sounds good. Well, we all look forward seeing your work. And once again, guys, this is Martin Renaud from Freedom Potential. You can find him on Facebook, Instagram. Look for him online. And if you need to have some filming done, don't forget, he's got a studio set up in Queensland. You can go meet up with him, say hi to him. Remember, number one thing to do is network. If you're not networking with the people, no one's going to know you. Networking can be social media. Networking can be presence, online, offline, both. Keep on posting online, regardless you get 1 like or 10 likes. One day, a person will see there and they will contact you and you might have a big project. So don't give up. Thank you so much, Martin. Really lovely having you here. And I'll speak to you next time.
Thank you.
See you, Martin.
There you go, Alvin. That was Martin. What's your thoughts about that? I mean, he's a guy, he lives in Queensland. He's actually got his own studio up and running. It's more of a control environment, and he's using Zcam as well. And I haven't got much opportunities trying Zcam yet, but, hopefully very soon I'm going to be pumping some content with that as well.
He needs more NAND lights.
Definitely. I think we need to approach him and send some NAND lights now.
Yeah. I think it's really nice to share. I think networking, like what you said, is very important. Know how to market yourself. Be passionate in what you're doing, and definitely never stop creating. What you say is very true. Whether you have 1 likes, 10 likes, 100 likes, it doesn't matter. Once you start to move on, you'll start to see people appreciating you, not only just for what you do, but in terms of the passion that you actually put in to doing this. Yeah.
Very nice. So here we go, Gary. Gary's having a great laugh on this. And then, wow, okay, here we go. Gary also says, this is information overload, learning so much from this episode about brands and other sides of collaboration. 100%, Gary, 100%. I think Matic is also gone. He's going on set, but he said, have a good day, guys. I need to get on set. See you soon. He's really enjoyed it. And he's also said, nice dude. The streaming thing is also very popular. Bought the 8 Mini Pro ISO Blackmagic cameras. Now learning how to do higher level proper lighting setup. Very good, Matic. And hopefully we can help you as well doing a better lighting for your setup. Maybe you can send us the photos of your setup and we can guide you on what options will work. Or maybe, you already have NAND lights and I can guide you how to work with this with NAND lights. As being an ambassador in Australia for NAND light, I have access to good technical knowledge, and we will also help through NAND light Australia or globally as well. And you can also join into the group, NAND light forums and groups on Facebook. There's so many members, always content posted there. You will learn so much.
Join us on our Facebook group. Yeah. We have a very fun community in the group.
100%. And here's the best comment of today.
Jinfu.
Yes.
Jinfu
from DD Microphones. Jinfu from DD Microphones. But wait for it. Alvin too.
We are both on diet to look good in today's live stream. So I think we went on on diet for the past 1 week or so. So
100%.
Hope we look better now.
And one of the most interesting comments that actually struck me over here is Ben Lane said, make sure you find a great mentor when starting out. And this is 100% right, because it's like saying, if you want to do business and you haven't gone to uni and studied any kind of business management courses, you still need someone who's going to guide you to be able to get there, unless you're already a pro at it. So regardless if it's lighting, if it's distribution, if it's sales, anything that you're doing in life, always have some sort of support line, and we humans do this all the time in our life. We have something called insurances, right? We pay someone to have insurance as a safety backup. So if something happens to us, we can go back to that. What about on the things, on the smaller goals that we're setting up in regards to being an ambassador, opening a company, buying a new car? You still need mentors. So if you have mentors, it actually makes it quite easy. Any final words, Alvin Wong? What's happening next?
I don't know. You tell me what's happening next.
I'm gonna send you this T-shirt so you can wear this as well.
Awesome. Yeah, anyways, just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in. And I think, like what I always say, never stop creating. Don't be afraid to create. Don't be afraid to share. Like I always say it to all my friends as well. I believe that there is no such thing or as a good content or a bad content. It's a matter of how
Yeah.
you present your content. So yeah,
Mm.
never stop creating. And if you ever need any, mentor or support, look for this guy here. He's a good mentor. The other hand.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay, and Ben has also submitted a comment saying someone that will teach you cash flow. This is 100% agreeable on,
Yeah.
because most of the time that I've been in business, I've seen my account, and my account doesn't really speak for most of work, because the amount of gear I have in this room, um, it's like a kid going to a toy store, it's exactly what happens when you're passionate about something. You invest your entire life onto it, and you do need guidance. And I'd be interested in talking to Ben Lane as well in regards to how he does things as well, and I see he's got some insightful knowledge as well. So Alvin, thank you so much for joining into the session. We have already crossed 1 hour. Congratulations again, to both of us for excelling the timeline.
We talk too much.
We talk too much. We talk
We
too
should
much,
plan
but
for like
that
a
is great.
15 minutes live the next time. 15.
5-0, I can. 1-5, I
1-5.
think I'll just
1-5.
give you the mic and you talk and I'll be out, and that will be 15 minutes for you. Well, thank you so much, Alvin. So if anyone wants to reach out Nanlight for collaborations, once again, do they message you? Do they message the group? Do they create content, get to you guys on Instagram? How do they approach you?
You can actually go to our website. We have a sort of like a form on our website that you can actually write into us and let us know how you want to collaborate, and we'll be more than happy to keep in touch with you.
Very nice, very nice. So there you go, guys. It was multiple guests today, special guests, and you have got a lot of insights. I hope everything is going well wherever you are, whichever country you're working from. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe Filmmakers League on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any platform that you can find us on. And of course, Nanlight, you want to know about us, go like Nanlight Australia. Also have a look at Nanlight Global. Go to the Facebook forums. I am quite prominent over there in regards to talking to you guys, helping you guys out. I will try to submit more content there more often, with a lot of things been handling as well. Once again, thank you so much, Alvin Wong, for being here. I really appreciate your time and your efforts, and really appreciate you sharing your insights.
Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you. I'll speak to you then. Guys, there we go. That was Alvin Wong. And also we have talked to multiple guests today from multiple different countries, from multiple time zones. So I hope you guys have a good time. My name is Raj Sharma. Until next time, see you then.